The 19th century was really an age of relentless exploration, where, the map held these vast, alluring blanks. None were more challenging or honestly more deadly than the Northwest Passage, a sea route through the treacherous Arctic linking the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. In 1845, Sir John Franklin, a celebrated British explorer, set sail with two of the most advanced ships of the age, HMS Erebus and HMS Terror, and 129 men, confident they would finally conquer this frozen frontier. They sailed into the Arctic and vanished. This isn't just a story of a failed expedition, it's a descent into a polar nightmare, a chilling tale of ambition swallowed by ice, and a mystery that lay frozen for over 170 years. Franklin's expedition was the pride of Britain. His ships were equipped with the latest technology steam engines, reinforced hulls, and enough supplies it was believed to last for years. The crew were seasoned sailors and scientists, handpicked for this momentous undertaking. They were meant to chart a navigable route, to claim glory for the Empire. Instead, they sailed into a silent white trap. Years passed with no word. Concern turned to alarm and then to outright panic. A massive search effort was launched, involving ships and overland expeditions, all desperately seeking any sign of Franklin or his men. For decades, the Arctic yielded only fragments, scattered tools, abandoned campsites, and the grim discovery of frozen graves on Beechy Island, the first tragic evidence that something had gone terribly wrong. The silence from the Franklin expedition became a haunting void, a source of endless speculation and, honestly, grim fascination. What had befallen these men? Had their ships been crushed by the relentless ice? Had they succumbed to the brutal Arctic elements? Rumors began to surface, whispered tales of unimaginable hardship and desperate measures. For over a century and a half, the fate of the Franklin expedition remained shrouded in ice and mystery. Then, in the 21st century, the Arctic began to yield its long-held secrets. So, in 2014, the wreck of HMS Erebus was discovered, remarkably preserved in the frigid depths. Then, just 2 years later, the Terror was found, even more intact, in Terror Bay. These astonishing discoveries, really opened a new chapter in the story, allowing modern science to finally piece together the tragic puzzle. What did these frozen tombs reveal? Well, forensic analysis of the remains found on King William Island painted a horrifying picture of starvation, scurvy, and the desperate struggle for survival. But perhaps the most disturbing discovery was evidence of cannibalism. Cut marks on human bones, suggesting that some of the crew resorted to the ultimate taboo in a final, desperate act. The wrecks themselves offered further clues. The Erebus showed signs of having been abandoned after being locked in ice. The Terror, found remarkably far south in Terror Bay with its rudder locked and anchor deployed, suggests a different, perhaps more sudden abandonment. Were the ships crushed slowly, forcing the crew onto the ice? Or did something more catastrophic occur? The mystery of why these well-equipped men perished remains, really complex. Theories of lead poisoning from poorly soldered food cans weakening the crew's judgment have been debated for years. The harsh realities of the Arctic environment, coupled with potential nutritional deficiencies, undoubtedly played a significant role. The final, agonizing months of the Franklin expedition were likely a descent into a frozen hell. The discovery of the Erebus and Terror has not solved the entire mystery, but it has provided invaluable insights into the final desperate days of the Franklin expedition. The Arctic, once a silent guardian of their fate, has begun to speak. Yet, the full story of why this ambitious endeavor ended in such complete and tragic loss continues to haunt us, a chilling reminder of the unforgiving power of nature and the enduring allure of the unknown.